guys, it's hay day. Are you guys ready for some hay? My journey into permaculture really started in earnest in April of 2013. Since then, I've taken 2 permaculture design certificate courses, one of which was with Jeff Lawton, who is the world's most renowned permaculturalist. I've invested hundreds of hours into the top permaculture books, studying orchards, swales, earthwork systems, animal husbandry, perennial gardening, food forestry, you name it. And I've been to several workshops. So when it was time for us to move on to the homestead, I thought I was pretty well armed with education and some hands-on experience. After we paid the deposit on the sheep and we knew we were just a couple weeks away from moving on to the homestead, I started thinking about, okay, what are the things that I need to have in place in order to receive them? Food, water, shelter, those types of things. And I thought, food, I need to get them some hay. So I turned to Craigslist to start looking for local hay producers, and I quickly realized that with all my permaculture training, all the books I've read, workshops, etc., I knew next to nothing about hay, much less buying hay. There's Timothy, there's brome, there's alfalfa, there's small square bales, large square bales, medium bales, small round, large round. You get the idea. There are a lot of different... And alfalfa pellets. So I called my mentor and she gave me a 2-hour crash course on hay buying. It was quite intense. Armed with all that information, I was able to go out. I found a certified organic producer. They were a little far away, a couple hours away, but they seemed like they were a really good fit for what I'm trying to do here. The majority of hay producers, at least in our region, they're blanket spraying their entire fields of production with glyphosate, 2,4-D, and a host of other toxic chemicals. This is not something you want to be feeding to your livestock that you will eventually be eating. Horses, okay. Sheep, cows,
But we need cows so we can have yogurt.
So little buddy and I made the drive out there and we loaded up the pickup truck with hay. That's the hay you see out in the field. And
a black and a blue. We were in a gray top, 2 tops.
Yeah?
Double top.
Double tarp.
That's for 2. We just don't want people to spray because I like organic. I like organic bacon and stuff and cheese and stuff. And I just like organic bacon and radish and cheese and stuff. And potato.
They're yummy, huh?
Yes. Want of yummy stuff.
The really cool thing about it though is we developed a relationship with the hay producers over there, and they're actually on their way here right now. They wanted to make the drive all over here and kind of check out our sheep operation, see what's going on, and they're bringing a load of hay. So I thought what a cool opportunity it would be to sit down with them and talk to them about the hay buying process so we can share that with you. So if you're in the same situation I was a few weeks ago, you're just getting into this and you don't know anything about hay, hopefully we can get some of those questions answered for you, shed some light on the topic, and give you more information to go out there with confidence and get the hay that you need.
Oh, yes.
Alright guys, we have our first homestead guests up here on the grass-fed homestead. With me is Virginia and Stacy. They came all the way over to bring us our hay here today, so we're going to talk to them more about hay production.
So 3 major kinds of hay are legume hays, grass grass hays, and then you have mixtures. Legume hays typically higher in protein, while your grass hays are higher in fiber. Legumes would be like alfalfa or red clover or sandfoin. Some dangers associated with some legumes, such as alfalfa and clovers, can be bloat in ruminant animals, so that's something to be cognizant of. Our hay is smooth brome grass, which is a common hay in our area of northeast Washington. It's a cool season grass, and it pairs really well with our climate. That's one of the reasons it's popular. But other cool season grasses you might find in our area would be like orchard grass or timothy. For us, we use a sickle bar mower, which is just like a bunch of scissors that go through and cut the grass. We just mow it, we'll leave it in a swath for a couple days, and then we'll start checking the dryness. Once it's close to being dry enough to bale, we'll go through and we'll rake the grass, and we'll rake it in from the swaths into windrows, and then we bale it. And we cut and rake ourselves, and then we have a neighbor who bales it for us. There's different kinds of bales. Ours are small squares. You also have large squares and then round bales. We do small squares because of the ease of handling.
So as organic producers, one of the things for us, it starts actually from the very beginning. We have to source our seeds as organic, or at least non-GMO untreated seeds. And we have to be able to document that process all the way from the beginning. And then once we've planted the seed, we have to make sure that we don't have any prohibited substances, which could be herbicides, seed coatings, or when we planted, if we have a legume, what kind of inoculant we use. So everything is documented. So you're always going to have a certain amount of weed pressure. One of the things we do on our farm was, first, when we chose our seed, the smooth brome, we chose a grass that is an aggressive sod-forming grass, so it will naturally grow strong and smother out other weeds. Because weeds are just plants out of place that are also trying to compete for resources. So if you can limit the resources and have another plant that will be better, then it'll just work out mostly. Also, we do a lot of hand pulling. We'll do mechanical control, which can range from using a mower on a tractor to using handheld weed whackers and things like that. But we continuously monitor our fields. We know where the weed pressure is, and that is our primary way of controlling weeds on our farm. And that is how we're mostly different from conventional, where they may just go out and spray an entire field, and that's just going to affect the entire field and not increase diversity or the strength of the plants.
I would say that when you go to see the person selling hay, they should be willing to break open a bale for you and show you the inside. It should look like good hay. It should be nice and green and not dusty or moldy, and it should smell good.
Another thing is anybody who's producing something, hopefully they would want to have questions and want to share with you what they've been doing. So if you have somebody who doesn't want to answer your questions, or they tell you that your questions don't matter, or you're being, you're asking too many questions, or that doesn't matter, or whatnot, maybe that's not the person you want to buy hay from. Usually somebody who's producing hay, they've put a lot of time and effort into it, and they worked hard to put up a good harvest that hasn't been, inundated with weeds or rained on or whatnot, and so they want somebody to appreciate that work.
Asking if it's been rained on is always a good question.
So that's always a really good question. Has it been rained on?
Either in the swath, or once it's been baled, have the bales been rained on?
Correct. So, because that's one of the big things, is that can create mold in the bale, and then that's dusty and can affect your animals.
And it can leach nutrients out of the hay as well.
That's very true. So main questions would be, obviously, what type of hay is this? Is it grass? Is it grass legume? What's the makeup of it? If they're not certified organic, or how do they manage their fields? Do they spray? If they spray, what do they use? And
ask if they've done a hay test.
Oh yeah, have they done a hay test? We sent away and did a hay test on our grass hay, and it came back as good quality, early mature grass hay, which is exactly what it is. So we were, pretty happy with that. And then if you do go to pick up hay from somebody, obviously look at their fields, look at where they harvested the hay, because that will also tell you some things that they may not be telling you.
Well guys, that was really awesome. I really appreciate all that information. I hope that the other people out there that are watching that are new like me can benefit from that. I know I sure did benefit from learning that stuff just a few weeks ago. So with all that said now, do you guys want to go look at the sheep or buck some hay bales?
Sure.
Sure.
All right, come on.
Sounds good.